Waiters of Reddit, what's the most ridiculous order someone's placed, and how did you deal with it? I worked at a national pizza chain for a while as a manager. We used to get this guy who would order all the time. He was lactose intolerant, so couldn't have cheese, and had severe heartburn when he ate red sauce. He would order an XL Supreme with no sauce and no cheese. I told the guy, if I did that, the toppings would just fly all over the box, but he didn't care. We ended up just baking the dough, separate from the toppings, and put the toppings in a small wing box on the side for him. Guy said no other pizza place would do that for him, and he turned out to be a great repeat customer who always tipped well. Not a waiter but a cook. Had a lady order her tofu scramble burnt, so I cooked it hard. She sent it back because it wasn't burnt enough, so I cooked it harder. She sent it back again, and the waiter said she really wants it burnt. So I got a wok super hot, put too much oil in, and proceeded to burn the crap out of it. My chef came by and lost his I explained it to him, and he watched me burn just ruin the thing. It was black and smelled like a tire fire. She ate all of it and said we were the only place to get it right. She came back every weekend for it, and we had to train new cooks how to burn the living F out of her food for her. I still can't comprehend why she would eat that. I once had a guy place his order and then say, and give me one of those spaghetti appetizers. I had been working there for a couple months, and we had no pasta dishes whatsoever on the menu. I politely tried to clarify this, but he wasn't having it. He just kept getting more irate. He insisted that he eats here all the time, and he always gets the spaghetti appetizer. Eventually, he gets up from his table, storms over to another one, and points at what he wants on another diner's table. He was pointing at their coleslaw. And yes, as far as he was concerned, I was still the a-hole for not knowing what he was talking about. Our slaw was a southern style slaw, where the cabbage is shredded. So, the cabbage is in strings, but you would still have to be some sort of weirdo to confuse it with noodles. And a few people have mentioned a Dane Cook bit. I'm not familiar with that joke, but after doing some googling, it appears that is a joke about messing with staff at a restaurant. This happened in 1994, and the customer was an older well-dressed guy out to dinner with his wife. I'm positive he wasn't effing with me. He was just an obnoxious a-hole that expected me to know what his confused mind was talking about. I worked at a pizza parlor, and the most ridiculous request was one that could have been so simple. A lady calls and orders a small pepperoni pizza with no pepperoni. I clarify and ask her, so just a small cheese? To which the woman, clearly annoyed by my lack of understanding, says no. A small pepperoni with no pepperoni. I again clarify and ask, you want a pizza with sauce and cheese only? Yes. Okay, so a cheese pizza. No, I want a small pepperoni with no pepperoni. We made her a cheese pizza. She didn't call and complain. Still not sure what the F she thought she was ordering. I had a woman call me back to the table because I didn't place her nachos close in after her. She asked me to push them closer to her. Edit. There was nothing wrong with her. She was just fat, lazy, and ignorant. Here's some extra icing on the cake. She was in a group of 5 people, and when the bill came she said she would take care of it, to the cheers of her friends. $5 tip on $75 check. Customer asked for a spaghetti with a side of more noodles and extra sauce because they were going to share. So, I said, you'd like one spaghetti and then an additional order of spaghetti? They told me I wasn't getting it and they just wanted extra noodles and some sauce on the side. I told them we would have to charge for extra noodles, and they ended up not wanting it. They somehow thought free spaghetti was a reasonable request. One couple in particular made the chef rage so hard, she just walked out. Wife orders some meal and makes a ton of changes to it. She gets the plate, takes one bite, and sends it back because she doesn't like it. Husband orders $60 lobster plate. The lobster tail comes with pepper sprinkled on top. The husband sends it back and wants a whole new one with no pepper on top. Apparently his wife wanted to try one piece, but doesn't like pepper. I worked as a waitress when my mom was a cook. There was one lady who ordered a medium rare steak, and the first time it came out, she cut a very small piece off the edge. Of course it was not rare enough, so she sent it back. My mom makes another one and again the lady sent it back, after cutting into the very edge. The third one that was sent back, my mom grabbed it off the plate with her bare hands, walked out to the lady, and ripped the steak in half, screaming this is what medium rare looks like in the middle. And then basically said get the F out. My mom is pretty awesome, but not someone you wanna piss off. I used to work at Whole Foods as a juicer, and this one guy would come in every day and order 12 ounces of garlic juice to go, which is like $20 by the way. After a couple weeks of seeing him order the same thing, I asked him to drink it in front of me, because I didn't believe it was humanly possible to ingest that much garlic. He downed it all, in front of me, and said this: along with much garlic comes much loneliness. I laughed and he said, no seriously, I work from home. I worked in fine dining for a while. I had one lady order creme brulee French toast with a Fruit Loops crust, and a bottle of champagne, with 2 carafes of orange juice. We made it. Actually we made a whole batch and the workers ate it. It was actually really good. It was a hotel restaurant. I'll have a cold grilled cheese please. So, uncooked. No, cook it. Just serve it cold. Had this skinny guy order 2 full lobster plates, and a ribeye steak. I just sat back and watched him dominate it all. Barista here. We had a Narcotics Anonymous convention in town once. I had someone order a 16 ounces cup with as much espresso as would fit. It was something like 18 shots. Cost about $25, and he downed it at the counter and went, whoa. Another NA guy wanted a 16 ounces cup with half vanilla syrup and half espresso. A lady regularly asks for a cup of regular coffee with a large spoonful of butter stirred in. We do breakfast sandwiches on bagels and croissants, and a businessman with a group of his colleagues had ham egg cheese, but he wanted it on a chocolate croissant. I think my favorite incident though, was a lady that wanted a latte with half non-fat and half soy, a triple shot with 1 regular shot, 1 decaf shot, and 1 half calf shot, heated to a specific temperature, double cupped, 1 Splendor and 1 equal stirred into the shots. The works. Basically, the guy behind her thought it was as ridiculous as I did, and he loudly asked for a mocha bullshit drink with 1/3 goat's milk, 1/3 cashew milk, and 1/3 giraffe milk, cooled with a chip of ice from a Norwegian glacier, and topped with nutmeg and gold flake. Then he said, wait, is your giraffe milk fair trade? Okay, never mind then, I'll just have a cup of coffee. He still comes in. I love that guy. When I worked at McDonald's, someone asked for a quarter pounder medium rare, light ketchup with, and extra toasted bun. It was a very slow time and we were all amused by it, so I made one for him. He came back to compliment my cooking. ETA, this happened in 1980. We used real grills and spatulas to cook the burgers then. We didn't know about eckerly ground beef. I made it by cooking it a little less than normal, so it was still safe in any case. Had a guy send one of our servers to the kitchen about 7 times, which is down the stairs far away from her section, to inquire about the weight of different hamburgers. All of them were the same, yet he insisted she go down and check, and would watch to make sure she did. He sends her away to mull it over for a while, and you can see him snickering with his equally doshy looking 2 sons. Finally the guy decides he wants a 24 ounces grilled burger, with nothing else but the patty, no seasoning or anything. Not like some hulking bro trying to get extra protein, just an old dahole who wanted to F with the poor server. Ate a bite, said he didn't like it, and ordered another burger. Tipped a very solid 0%, after telling her it'd all be worth it. This is why we are all mildly functioning alcoholics. Well, I don't even remember all the specifics, but I once had this old lady come into Olive Garden and order something, and literally customize every ingredient. We had one promo entree that contained risotto. She asked me what risotto was, and then asked me to switch it out for plain brown rice and squash, neither of which we had. We made all our sauces in-house, but they weren't made on the spot for each order. She even tried to customize the ingredients and the sauce. And the end of everything, after I ran around trying to make her happy, she complained to management that I was incompetent for not being a magician and changing how a restaurant works. Ah, yes. OG. I worked there for a year. We had 3 old women come in. Each ordered SSB with water. 1 water from the tap with round ice. 1 water purified with ice like Sonic. 1 water from soda machine, no ice. After being explained to about 1 type of ice, and only water from the fountain or bottled, they returned their waters 3 times before the poor man called them 3 old B and left. This same guy had 1 old lady come in twice every week, order 1 chicken gnocchi and water, and whisper to him, "I hid your tip in the soup," so the busboy wouldn't take it. Sure enough, 18 or so cents in the soup. It was fun there.